I wanted to prove once and for all that the flat earth theory is stupid and it makes no sense, but I failed at every step. I've done my research for over 3 years. I saved and I documented everything, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I found. Let's talk about it. Flat Earth is the #1 conspiracy theory in the world. That's the mother of all conspiracies. And what I always thought that it's stupid, first of all, and second, I thought that the bad guys, those who are responsible for all the other conspiracies, they invented this theory so they can ridicule all the other conspiracy theories. Does that make sense? So I always thought that it's stupid because it sounds stupid, right? We know we live on a globe, but it always came back to my life and I saw it here and there. So I decided that I'm gonna end this debate once and for all. I'm gonna prove the globe and we can forget flat earth theory once and for all. But as I said, I failed. I was never a flat earther. I always believed in the globe, and I even used the globe as a thumbnail for some of my previous videos. As I said, I researched it for over 3 years. I had a lot of questions, I'm sure you have too, and as I said, I saved, I documented everything that I found. So I'm not here to tell you whether the earth is a globe or it's flat. I'm here to show you exactly what I found during my research, and you can decide for yourself. Fair enough? Welcome to Mystery Teachings. My name is Gergo. If you are new to the channel, then greetings and namaste. Or if you are a returning beautiful soul, hey, thanks for coming back. I appreciate you. Before I started this whole investigation, I knew one thing. If I want to get a clear picture of what's going on and which side is true, I need to put aside everything that I think, I believe, or I feel about the earth, and in this case, the globe itself. So it doesn't matter how stupid I think flat earth is, I need to be open-minded, and I promise myself that I'm gonna look at both sides with an open mind. I just step aside and I look at it as an observer. And that's exactly what I'm asking from you as well. Put aside everything you believe and let me take you to a journey that you have never been before. And even though we have a lot of photos and videos of the earth, and this is the first thing that we learn as a child, as soon as we're born, the first thing we know that we live on a globe. I know, but still, what made me start this journey in the first place was the fact that the number of people who believe in flat earth is growing massively. Even the media reported it. Check this out.
The round or spherical earth theory is propagated by some conspiracy.
And the number of people who think so is growing. Thousands, if not millions of people believe the world is flat.
And it's the subject of tonight's special report. WCIA3's Aaron Eads is here with us now. And Aaron, as far as conspiracy theories go, flat earth theory is actually getting pretty popular.
Yeah, believe it or not, the number of people who believe the earth is flat is actually growing. Scientists might have an idea of why that is, and it's worth talking about. And what better place to do so than one of the flattest places in the country, right here in central Illinois. But there are ideas that this is a sham. NASA, a fraudulent organization bent on siphoning your tax dollars. The moon landing didn't happen.
Those iconic blue marble images seen from space, fakes.
You start seeing words like composite or animation or something that tells you this is not an actual photograph of the earth.
The biggest concern with the flat earth movement is how fast it's gaining steam. Scientists are worried that flat earth could become a political issue like climate change, vaccination, or evolution. Guys.
All right, fascinating stuff. All right, Aaron, thank you.
Very interesting.
So according to Forbes, only 2/3 of American millennials believe the earth is round. In other words, in the age group of 18 to 24, 1/3 of American young people believe the earth is flat. So that's interesting. And if we look at here in Britain, 3 in 100 Britons think the Earth is flat, and 1 in 20 say the theory is probably, but not definitely, false. And guys, first, I was in the definitely false category. I was in that 88%. But as I said, once I researched it, everything changed. So first, when you hear about flat Earth, you really ridicule it, but once you research it, that's a different story, and I'm gonna show you why. So put these statistics into a different perspective. Basically, millions of people in the world believe that the Earth is flat. And at this point, I wanna hear their story. I wanna know why. And I have a lot of questions. I'm an intelligent guy, so it's gonna be very difficult to convince me that the Earth is flat. So you need to be very, very good with their explanations and with their reasons if they really want to convince me about this. Now, if anyone wants to research flat Earth, the first thing you probably do is go on Google, which is a big mistake and it's a dead end. And let me show you why. These are the images that Google will show you that flat Earth is. But I can tell you after my research that this is stupid. I thought the same at the beginning. I mean, this is what flat earthers believe, that this is absolutely rubbish. But this is not. This has nothing to do with the flat earth movement, I can tell you that. Or what you will find is these images that, you know, ships are getting to the edge and they just fall off the edge. You've probably seen many of these images before. So this is not true. No flat earth researcher thinks this. This is bullshit, this is propaganda, this is not real. Now, the other thing you will definitely find if you search for flat earth is the Flat Earth Society. Now, this was started by a guy called Leo Ferrari, and first it was called the Flat Earth Society of Canada, and then they made it simple just by calling the Flat Earth Society. And basically this is controlled opposition. This is propaganda. So they give you some truth, but they show you footages like this, and they tell you that the flat earth disk is accelerating upwards in space, and obviously you will think it's stupid. So the Flat Earth Society, again, has nothing to do with the real flat earth movement. And there's a lot of propaganda around flat earth. We're gonna discuss much more about that. The question for now is why? But basically, just to clarify this whole thing, we have two Earth models that we talk about. One is the heliocentric model, the other is the geocentric model. The heliocentric model, what we know today, is that the sun is the center of the universe and all the other planets, including the Earth and everything else, moves around the sun. Whereas the geocentric, aka flat Earth model, that's where the Earth is the center of the universe. The Earth is stationary, it's not moving, just as we feel it, and then the sun, the moon, and the stars and everything else rotate around us in the sky, just as we see it. But for now, I just want you to understand that we have these two models, the heliocentric and the geocentric. And when you see images like this, that's basically mixing up the two. So zero flat earthers believe in this bullshit. This is not real. This is created by the media and others who want you to think that flat earth is stupid. And when celebrities or politicians talk about flat earth, they will always mention the Flat Earth Society. Again, because they want you to look at their website. This is how they mislead you, and this is how they deceive you, just like Barack Obama did. He mentioned the Flat Earth Society many, many times.
They've been talking down new sources of energy. They dismiss wind power. They dismiss solar power. They make jokes about biofuels. They were against raising fuel standards. I guess they like gas guzzlers. They think that's good for our future. We're trying to move towards the future. They want to be stuck in the past. And we've heard this kind of thinking before. Let me tell you something. If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail, they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
In other breaking news, the world is round, not flat.
Now that we clarified all this with the Flat Earth Society and why they talk about it, let's move on to YouTube, because Google is not the only one who will feed you with stupidity. YouTube is the other one, and this lady is the head of public policy on YouTube, and she went to Congress the other day and they talk about how to censor conspiracy theorists. So check this out, and after we will discuss it further.
Does Google think that this is a problem, and what is the solution that you're coming up with to address it?
Thank you for the question. So as you noted, when Alex Jones posted the video you described saying that the survivors of the Parkland massacre were crisis actors, that violated our harassment policy. We have a specific policy that says if you say a well-documented violent attack didn't happen, and you use the name or image of survivors or victims of that attack, that is a malicious attack and it violates our policy. In terms of conspiracy theory content generally, our goal is to promote authoritative content to our users. So we have two principles that guide the way here. That's the first one, is we want to provide users with authoritative, trustworthy information.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I only have a minute and a half, and I don't really need to hear what you're trying to provide. I want to know how you're dealing with all these conspiracy theorists on your platform.
So the first way is by demoting low-quality content and promoting more authoritative content, and the second is by providing more transparency for users. So we're introducing boxes that provide factual information at the top of results that have shown themselves to turn up a lot of information that is counterfactual, such as searching for the Earth is flat on YouTube, where you see a lot of...
Your response is to put a box saying, nope, the Earth is not flat.
Correct.
Okay.
And this is one example of these boxes with information she was talking about. But my question is that if Flat Earth is stupid, if it's false and it's a conspiracy theory, then why do they need to discuss it in Congress? And furthermore, why do they need to censor it? So if we all know that we live on a globe, why do I need a box to tell me that don't believe Flat Earth because we live on a globe? You see my problem here? And this is what YouTube tells you about these little information panels or boxes when you search or watch videos related to topics that are prone to misinformation, such as the moon landing. You may see an information panel at the top of your search results or under a video that you're watching. Information panels show basic background info sourced from independent third-party partners to give more context on a topic. If you want to learn more, the panels also link to the third-party partner's website. So you see these panels at all the Flat Earth videos basically, and you will probably see it under this video as well or under my series. But this is when it gets more weird with YouTube, because there was this article, and I heard this from different sources, that YouTube promises to stop recommending Flat Earth and 9/11 truther videos. But why would they stop recommending it if it's stupid, you see? And that's not only what they do. Here is someone commented on Eric Dubé's channel. He is one of the Flat Earth guys and he educates people about Flat Earth. And this commenter says that YouTube unsubscribe me from your channel. Keep telling the truth. So it's not only information boxes and not only stop recommending the Flat Earth videos, but they even unsubscribe people from Flat Earthers channels. So YouTube creators are really censored when it comes to Flat Earth. And I'm not sure how much effect this series will make on my channel, on Mystery Teachings, but I really don't care because I'm on YouTube, I'm on BitChute, I'm on Rumble, so I'm gonna make this series anyway, no matter what effect it will make on my channel, but I hope it will be okay. Now let me show you a clip from BBC, and I want you to pay attention to a couple of things. And guys, in this first part I really just want to show you how I started to research this whole topic and all the dead ends I found, so you can see the difference between fake news and propaganda and real information and, you know, true information. So BBC, they have a report on flat earth, and I want you to pay attention to a few things. One is the music. They play a really silly music which will subconsciously give you an idea already that this is something you shouldn't take seriously. It's about a flat earth conference. And the other thing is they show you people in weird shoes, and then they interview a guy who look really weird and really mad and really crazy. So again, to give you an idea that flat earther equals madness and craziness. So this is how the propaganda machine works and fake news works, but here is the clip and you decide for yourself.
We used to think when we got started individually in this that we were alone. We have one thing in common. We live on a flat plane.
When you're watching videos at home, it's just you and the screen. And it's lonely. I came here because I needed to see what flat earth people looked like. And I was not disappointed. They look normal. Very few people overweight. About 30% of them are cigarette smokers. And only 4 of them that I met are from around here.
Can you see what's going on? Which I just mentioned. Silly music, they show you someone crazy looking person. So they show you everything the way that they want you to believe that these people are crazy and mad and they are stupid. So again, this is not okay. Now let's see what a stand-up comedy guy say about flat earth.
I was watching a documentary recently about flat earthers that was fascinating. I don't know if anybody saw this. There are people who believe the earth is flat. The documentary is called Assholes.
Again, just because someone believes something else, why do you need to talk about them like this? They call them assholes. For what reason? Someone has a different belief than you, so what? Why is it such a big deal? But anyway, let's see a different example from a TV show. It was some kind of a game, and we will discuss it after. Check this out.
In the Middle Ages, what shape did people think the world was?
Flat.
I know we all think they did, but there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever. They all thought it was round. They all wrote about it as round. The Greeks knew that it was round.
Round and flat?
No,
round.
They thought it was a sphere. The Greeks knew it was round, he says. Chaucer knew it was round. Roger Bacon wrote about the curvature of the earth in the 13th century. You see, almost no one in the history of the world has believed that the earth is flat.
Now, this guy is a liar, and I have multiple reasons to say that. And guys, I just quickly want to debunk this part, because a lot of people say and think and believe that flat earth is something that just appeared a few years ago on YouTube and on social media. That is not true. First, I remember that I learned in school that indeed people believe the earth is flat, like a century ago, 2 centuries ago, or whatever, even ancient civilizations, which we're gonna cover in this series later in our journey. Now, the other thing is, I wanna show you a clip of an interview with a lady who is over 100 years old, and she remembers learning in school that the earth is flat. Check this out.
All right, tell me your name.
Ruth Heath.
Ruth, and how old are you today?
102.
102. So you were born in
1918.
1918. And we were just talking, and I asked you what shape the Earth is, and what did you say? What were you taught in school in elementary school?
I was taught in school that the Earth was flat.
And then what do you remember when they changed it to a globe?
Well, when they changed it, I remember when they changed it, but I can't remember the date or anything like that.
And did you believe them?
Yes, I did.
You did. Now,
I was young.
Right, and we all were told by people that we trust.
That's right.
Where did you go to school? Elementary school.
I went to Spur Glen School in Hamden, Connecticut.
Okay, now the other thing is the famous astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm sure you heard about him. Even he tells you that indeed people in the past believed the earth is flat. Check this out.
You're not a climate scientist, but you're a very distinguished scientist and astrophysicist.
Hey, what's up, Neil? I got like a super important question for you that I've been wondering like my whole life. Okay, is the world round or flat? Because if so, if the world is round, why isn't the water falling out into space?
Mikkel, you ask a very important question. This concept had eluded all of humanity for centuries. Everyone thought Earth was flat. Why? Because it looked flat. And they posed the same arguments you did. If it was round, stuff would fall off on the other side. You can't have people standing upside down on a round Earth. Here's the thing. We thought Earth was flat before we had sea-going vessels that went beyond the horizon, recognizing that there has to be a curve there, because the ship doesn't always stay in view. So Columbus, when he set sail, the ship eventually disappeared. And you can chase after him, and you can keep disappearing. You can keep doing this. This would count as evidence that Earth's surface was curved.
I'm sure you remember this movie, but do you remember when these guys discussed that people believed the Earth is flat?
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
Imagine what you'll know tomorrow.
And just to make sure we are all on the same level, here is my bonus for you so that we can all understand that people believed in flat Earth not that long ago.
Yeah, I could stay home and scrub floors.
Hey, you stowaways.
Are you speaking to us?
Yeah, listen. There's gonna be a mutiny in a few minutes.
A mutiny?
Shh, keep your voice down. Yes, a mutiny. The captain thinks the world is round, see? But we all know it's flat, right?
Of course it's flat.
Sure, I know the world is flat.
Well, so do I. Everybody knows that.
Good, good. Then you're on our side. We're gonna take over the boat, throw Columbus in chains, and head for home.
Good idea. Otherwise, we'd fall right off the edge of the ice.
I know we all think they did, but there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever. They all thought it was round. They all wrote about it as round. The Greeks knew that it was round.
Okay, now that we established that this is not some new idea, this was in history for a long time, now let's see something from the flat Earth side. As I said, I need to consider both sides simultaneously and then decide for myself. So something from the flat Earth side, from an old documentary. Here is a short clip which is gonna be quite interesting. Here we go.
It's a commonly held misconception that the Earth is a spherical object that revolves around the Sun. But the fact is, of course, that the Earth is a circular dish surrounded by a barrier of ice that explorers have been attempting to penetrate for centuries. Samuel Burley Rowbottom, better known throughout the scientific community as Parallax. In 1881, he had published this book, Earth Not a Globe. Outlining dozens of experiments performed over many years, it quickly became the standard authority for anti-globularists. Perhaps the most significant experiments were those carried out on a canal known as the Old Bedford Level. Located in Cambridgeshire, England, the canal is perfectly straight over an uninterrupted 6-mile stretch. While there, Parallax conducted many experiments, all towards one conclusion, to prove that the surface of the water in the canal was indeed perfectly flat. In one experiment, a boat carrying a flag rowed from one bridge to another 6 miles away. An observer with a telescope placed 8 inches above the surface of the water found that the flag and the boat were distinctly visible throughout the entire distance. If the Earth is a sphere with a circumference of 25,000 miles, then over a distance of 6 miles, the second bridge should mathematically be 16 feet below the observer's eye line.
And just to give you something that's not as old as the previous one, here is a short one from mainstream media.
The curving horizon, the sloping sea level, the spin of the Earth. Unless you can see these phenomena with your own eyes, they may not be true. Unlike what we've been told in school, the Earth looks like a snow globe. round but not sphere. The North Pole is at the center of most flat Earth maps, with the ice of Antarctica holding everything in.
Alright, now let's move on to social media, and it's time to find some debate groups. Flat versus globe. And now here is the first one, which is a group description which is already weird. Look at this. The flat earthers has gone too far. Again, how? They have become so many and have way too much influence, especially on the young people. Again, same question. How do they have so much influence if they spread something that's stupid? But anyway, it's also most likely that all of them believe in several other conspiracies. Some of them dangerous. Oh, this is the group for me. Join us so we can end this insane madness. How do you want to end this exactly? Guaranteed quality entertainment every day. Have fun. Now let me show you the quality entertainment they talk about. And here is an example of your guaranteed entertainment. And I know this is just one group example, but I found the exact same thing with all the other groups that I've been into. And it was at least 20 different groups. So this is what they post, saying that this is proof of the curvature of the Earth. And I wanted to post this photo that this doesn't prove anything, even though at this point I'm on the globe side, but this doesn't prove anything. This is perspective. This is how we see things. The further something is, the lower it appears on the sky. So this is not due to curvature, and this doesn't prove or disprove the globe. But when I wanted to post this photo, it was rejected. So this is when things getting interesting, and this is a good example from someone who posted this screenshot that basically the globe side can post anything, but the flat earth side cannot post anything. So this is really interesting, and this is what I personally experienced as well. So these groups look like they debating, but in fact, whenever you post something that supports the flat side, it just gets rejected. So in other words, this is like 5 years old people. But anyway, here is some more examples of your guaranteed entertainment. Here is some examples from the globe side, and basically they talk to flat earthers and they talk about them like they were the biggest idiots, which I can kind of understand. But my problem is that the way they treat other human beings is unacceptable in my opinion. And they post this kind of memes. And then obviously you have examples from the other side, from the flat side. For example, this one, NASA watching flat earthers numbers grow 700% since 2015. And Earth is too big to see the curve, but on the other side, ships disappear over Earth's curvature. So, which also makes you think, or this one, that fence is disappearing over the curvature of the Earth. But the point is that you're not gonna get anywhere in these groups, and you're not gonna find out the truth. So this was also a little bit of dead end for me. In the words of Aristotle, it is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. With other words, one of the truest marks of intelligence is being able to consider opposite ideas without immediately accepting or rejecting one of them. So if we only research or think about one side of an issue and reject the other side without consideration, that's the highest form of willful ignorance. And we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna consider both sides and we'll see how it goes. So as I said, I have a lot of questions from flat earthers and I wanna hear from them. I don't want other people to tell me what flat earthers think. I wanna hear it from flat earthers. But I wanna know a lot of things. How days and nights work. How do we have different seasons? How are we floating in space? Are we floating in space at all, or it's something else? And what is below flat earth? I want to see the edge. I want to know everything. What is it about this dome they talk about? And, you know, pilots and airplanes, how we fly above a flat earth disk or plane or whatever, and many other questions. Satellites, how about satellites? How do they work? Where are they? And all these kind of things. I have a lot of questions, and they really need to convince me with everything if they want me to believe that the earth is flat. So let's see how it goes. And even though I agree with this quote that all truth goes through 3 stages. At first it's ridiculed, at second it is violently rejected, and in the third it is accepted as self-evident, because this is really true. But when it comes to flat earth and when it comes to science, we need something that's observable, that's testable, that's measurable and repeatable. That's when we call it science. But interesting enough, the flat earth side actually say that science is more than welcome to investigate flat earth. Check this out.
Science should never, ever be worried about investigating the flat earth. I mean, science should welcome an investigation of the flat earth. Science is supposed to be objective, to learn, to grow. And it's, you know, as we are finding out, flat earthers are pointing out things about science that science doesn't have an answer for, and yet they still fight it.
Now, when it comes to science, most of the people believe that this is what's happening in our solar system, when in reality, this is what's happening in our solar system. And when you start to look at the details here and the different speeds and the directions of the movement, that's when everything will start to get weird. So we need to investigate science and question science, which is exactly what we're gonna do in part 2.